Dear black people, you are the true Jews. Your sorrows are coming to an end. That's our topic for today. And I know some will claim that this message is racist because it's directed towards a specific race of people. Some will call it division in the body of Christ. Some will call it this and some will call it that. And that's ignorant talk. Because if people understand, they will know that there's a separate race that is assigned specifically to our Creator. And at the end of times, He put us in the book of Revelation. Not no one else, but our race specifically. And what I need you to understand is that although Christ is for all races now, since the New Testament, His original race still holds a special place in His heart. And evidence is seen in the scriptures that we're about to go over real quick. So here in Matthew 13, verses 22 to 27, it says, a Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to Yahushua crying out, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is demon-possessed and suffering terribly. Yahushua did not answer a word. So his disciples came to him and urged him, send her away, for she keeps crying out after us. He answered, I was only sent to the lordship of Israel. The woman came and knelt before him. Lord, help me, she said. He replied, it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the dogs. Christ called the Israelites children. He called the foreign race dogs. I hope you heard that. Christ said his priority, even though he came to reconcile everyone to himself, he said that his priority is the master's children, meaning the Israelites, his own race of people. Christ said, I cannot take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. He called Israelites children of God. He called the foreign nations dogs. So please believe me when I say that although Christ is for everyone, his original race of people, black people, still hold a special place in his heart. And that's why you'll see all the way to the book of Revelation, that in Revelation 7, only the true race of Israel are mentioned to be recipients of the seal of God as first fruits. They're the ones who will follow Christ around in heaven. The Bible did not mention any Europeans, any Arabs, or any other races. It specifically mentions the 12 tribes of Israel as the first fruits that have a higher rank than every other race in heaven. That is just one scriptural example. Because when speaking of the 1,000-year reign with Christ, the book of Zechariah also says here, it says in those days, during the 1,000-year reign, 10 people from all languages and all nations will take firm hold of one Jew. Now you can understand that a Jew is a separate race that is being talked about here. It says they will take hold of one Jew by the hem of his robe and say, let us go with you, because we have heard that God is with you. I say this shows the true bloodline of Jews will have higher ranking and authority over all other races. I hope you heard that. Us, black people, the true Jews, have a special ranking that will be above the races that have oppressed, bullied, and enslaved us for thousands of years. So this message that I preach today is not racist. And if you call it racist, then what will you call Christ? When he said the foreign races are dogs and he compared the Israelites to children. What would you say about that? So I don't care what an unbeliever thinks. I don't care what a lukewarm Christian thinks. I'm here to preach the true, unfiltered gospel of truth. Whoever accepts the truth will be set free. And all those who reject this truth can go bang their heads on the brick wall. Now I address the entire world, calling everyone's attention to the identity of the true Jews, black people, the people who look like me. Hear you world, black people are the race who bear the exact resemblance of God in flesh. We are the true children of God. And that's why the devil has raised his children to enslave and dominate us. They're able to do so because this world belongs to the devil, and the devil has given all of it to his children. You can see when he tried to recruit Christ, the same thing. Bow down to me and I will give you this world. He has given this world unto his children, the foreign races. They are not us. They are separate from us. Black people are uniquely created, not only in body, but in spirit. We are a demonstration of God's love, forgiveness, strength, and divinity in flesh. Black people are the origin of mankind. And even genetic code testing will tell you that we carry the gene, the universal gene from which everything else is a derivative of. Adam was black. The European race came from the serpents who possessed the Neanderthal and used them to breed a bunch of other races. This means that black people are a pure breed of God's creation and the other races are subhumans, a product of fallen angels using Neanderthals to mate with humans. This is biblical. The evil sons of God created the foreign races, and you will see that in Genesis 6. They descended and they had sex with women using Neanderthals because they did not have the bodies of their own. So they had to possess the Neanderthals to mate with the women. So the Europeans and other races are a product of Neanderthals breeding with human beings. Black people are the only pure product. We are the product of the handwork of Christ. We are the heartbeat of the earth. Yahusha, the firstborn of mankind, is black. His identity is in the Bible several times, where his skin color is described as burnished bronze. This color of mine is a shade of burnished bronze, and only a fool will argue otherwise. Burnished bronze is not white. So all that white Jesus they sold you is a big fat lie. Adam was created specially after God had rested on the seventh day. So this lets you know that the men and women created on day 6 were the Neanderthals, who also had a semblance of men and women, but they were not quite in the fullness of God's image. They were the bodies that the spirits were inhabiting to interbreed with people, just as the serpent used the body of the Neanderthal to have sex with Eve to produce Cain. My people, you are the ones created in the exact black image of our Heavenly Father, who is described in Daniel 7 as having hair like wool, who is described in the Bible as having skin of burnished bronze. The Jesus that the Catholics sold to you, that the white man sold to you, has straight hair. If anyone has a brain, they will know that wool is not straight. It's curly, like black people's hair. So that straight-haired white image that they popularized is the image of pagans and demons who replace the true Christ of this gospel with the devil. Dear black people, your Messiah looks just like you, and your ancestry begins at Adam. From Adam came Seth, all the way to Enoch, all the way to Noah, all the way to Abraham and Isaac, and then the 12 tribes of Israel, the original bloodline of Adam, through whom our black Messiah came into this world. When you look at the genealogy of Christ, you will see it traces all the way back to Adam, son of God. So from his creation, his handwork, our Creator chose to come into this world through that direct bloodline that he fashioned with his own hands, not the one that the devil created using Eve to give birth to Cain and then to give birth to a whole bunch of other races. If you pay attention in the Old Testament, Christ, whom they disguised as angel of the Lord in the Bible, once again, if you see angel of the Lord in the Old Testament in the Bible, that is Christ. And in the Old Testament, he was matchmaking throughout, preserving the bloodline of his true holy race. He forbade the true Israelites from marrying foreign women because he wanted to keep the bloodline of his holy race pure. That's because the other races carried the bloodline of the serpents in them. The other races were children of the serpent, verified from the mouth of Christ by himself. Christ forbade intermarriage because he knew the bloodline of the serpents would corrupt the bloodline of his people. But Solomon, one of the greatest antichrists to ever walk the face of this earth, defied God by marrying hundreds of foreign women. And by so doing, he turned the land of the holy race into the synagogue of Satan. King Solomon imported satanic religions, legalized idolatry, and created the satanic religion which we know today as Judaism. These same religions that the fake Israelites of today are using to wage war and do evil all over the world. The book of Daniel prophesied that our race will be enslaved until Christ returns to destroy the beast system. The beast system is what we saw in Daniel 2, symbolized by the statue in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. The statue showed us the specific nations that will emerge as world powers to enslave us, the chosen people. And in that statue, you saw the head of gold, which is Babylon, being a part of the same beast system all the way to the 10 toes of iron and clay. Daniel was a true Jew, a man who looked like me in Babylonian captivity. When Persia took over, our people were still in captivity. When the Greeks took over, our people were still in captivity. When Rome took over the Iron Legs, our people, black people, were still in captivity. Christ, our Messiah himself, a black man, was born in the era of the Iron Legs of Rome. It was the Romans who destroyed our land, Jerusalem, and expelled us from there. It was the Romans who renamed our land to Syria, Palestina, known today as Palestine. All of that Jerusalem was where our ancestors lived before we were expelled by these evil Europeans. They expelled us from our lands and claimed everything that we owned for themselves. They claimed our land for themselves. They claimed our Messiah for themselves. They claimed our identity for themselves. They took the Hebrew language from us. By murdering all our ancestors who spoke it, they forced their pagan languages on us, their cultures, their traditions, and their satanic religion, disguised as our religion. They forced it all on us. They enslaved us with this word. Because like I told you, this same word that's meant to save you is the same word that curses many of those who are destined for hell. Just as we see in Psalm 2, the nations of the evil sons of God conspire against us, and they choose to break us with slavery and endless massacres. The invasion of Jerusalem in 70 AD by the Romans is what ended our time in Jerusalem. On that day, our people, black people, fled the Holy Land. They were banned from it permanently. On that day, our ancestors migrated from Jerusalem to Saudi Arabia, where the Arabian Antichrist, Muhammad, also murdered many of us and forced some of our ancestors to convert to Islam. Our ancestors who rejected Islam kept migrating all the way until they settled in West Africa. From Jerusalem to West Africa, the tribe of Judah and Ephraim settled around the river Niger, which is around Benin to Nigeria to Ghana, all along the west coast of Africa. We settled there in the land prepared for us. But soon enough, our ancestors embedded themselves into idolatry, and prophecy had to be fulfilled. So the Europeans, the children of the Greeks and the Romans, sailed across the seas at the order of the popes of the main religion of the devil, that had been the Roman Catholic Church, the prostitutes of Revelation 17, the ones who sanctioned all the modern-day abominations of this world. They sailed to Africa, to the location labeled on their maps as Kingdom of Judah. I've showed you this map before and I'll show you again. This is it right here. On the top corner of the right, it says Negro Land and Guinea. And it says that portion belongs to England, Holland, and Denmark. The region by River Niger is labeled Kingdom of Judah. This is the map they use so they know we're the chosen ones. And when you zoom in, you can see it right here. Kingdom of Judah is what I circled right here. They know who we are, and they came specifically to enslave us. They effected the worst slavery in the history of mankind, prophesied of in Ezekiel 4. 430 years of slavery was prophesied upon who? The true tribe of Judah in Ezekiel 4. This was after the 400-year slavery of Egypt, so don't get it confused. The prophecy for the 400 years of slavery in Egypt of our people was in Genesis 15, and it was fulfilled during the book of Exodus. The prophecy of Ezekiel 4 was foretelling of the transatlantic slave trade. Prophet Ezekiel in that prophecy was bound on his left side for 390 days and on his right side for 40 days, signifying a total of 430 years of slavery, where we, our people, black people, will be bound and shipped away, given animal dung to eat, raped, slaughtered for fun, and treated worse than animals. Those demonic Europeans, the children of Satan, used the Bible to fulfill the will of the devil. Under the satanic religion of Catholicism and their other denominations like Baptist, Anglican, Latter-day Saints, and so forth. All those denominations follow human traditions, and they are condemned by the God of the Bible. The founding fathers of European denominations were slave masters who used the Bible to cripple the black race. And this has also caused confusion amongst you, my fellow brothers and sisters who look like me. That is why I've been sent to correct the narrative, because many of you are walking around talking about Christianity is the white man's religion. No, it is not. No, it is not. Christianity is your religion. You are the true Jews, black people. They took it from you. You can see today in our day and time how they take things that belong to other people and claim it for themselves. The fake Jews migrated to Palestine in 1948, begging for a place to stay. The Palestinians welcomed them. And years after, they held guns out and told Palestine to get out, that this is their land. That's what they do. That's what they did in America. They take identities, they take lands, they take possessions, they take everything that you own and they claim it for themselves. Christianity is not the white man's religion. Christianity is the religion of the Creator, and the Creator has the image of burnished bronze with skin like yours. This is why it's important for me to preach this and to let you know so you may understand that you are the true holy race. And that's why the whole world hates you. That's why the whole world oppresses you. That's why you are at the bottom of the world. Yes, we are black people. And isn't it ironic that us black people, the true Jews, who were the original recipients of the word, became the ones that the foreign races used the word to oppress? They used their Catholicism, their satanic religion, to treat us like animals, validating everything they were doing with this same word. Is that not the same way the fake Israelites are justifying all the genocide with this same word? That's what they do. They took everything away from us. They stole our names, our art, our culture, our tradition, and our gospel. What race on the face of this earth went through 430 years of slavery? Black people. What race of people have been oppressed since the beginning of time? Black people. So he says the true Jews will be in captivity since the time of Babylon until the time of the 10 toes. We know that the Romans were the legs of iron, and after the Romans came the Europeans. Who did the Europeans enslave? Yeah, I'll wait. That's what I thought. So now when you go to Ezekiel 4 and you read of that prophecy foretelling of a future time where we will be enslaved for 430 years, if you have a brain, then you will know that it speaks of us. Because there's no other race that endured that. There's no other race that went through that. And how do you identify the children of Satan? The people that did that to us, yes. Not all of them are evil, but that's just the race of the serpents. So also, not all black people are good, but that's just the race of God. Dear black people, we carry the code of divinity in our genes. They hate us because they ain't us. They try to eliminate us from the face of the earth, but the promise given unto Abraham stands. So no matter what they do, we remain populous like the stars in the sky, although many amongst us will perish, numbering in billions like the sands of the beach, because these people amongst us have abandoned our biblical culture in exchange of the culture of the foreign races who do things that the devil has taught them to